Once upon a time, in a small village nestled among the rolling hills of the African savannah, there lived a young woman named Mma. Mma was known throughout the village for her beauty and her kind heart, but she always carried a painful curse. She was married to Olu, a very wealthy young man. He was among the most recognized young men in the village. Every time Uma became pregnant, she was consumed by a madness that would grip her tightly and refuse to let go. The people of the village whispered that she was cursed. A malevolent spirit has taken hold of her and was driving her to madness. Uma tried to fight against the curse, seeking help from the village elders and the local medicine man. But nothing could break the hold that the curse has on her. And so when Uma discovered she was once again with child, she knew that the darkness would soon descend upon her. As the months passed, Uma's madness grew stronger, her eyes wild, her voice a haunting wail that echoed across the village. The villagers kept their distance, fearful of the curse that had taken hold of Uma. But one brave young man named Kofi dared to approach her, even when her own husband was scared of her. Kofi loved Umma from afar for years and he could not bear to see her suffering alone. He vowed to stand by her side to protect her and care for her through her predicament, no matter the cost. But as the time drew near for Umma to give birth, the darkness within her grew stronger and she became a danger to herself and others. In a fit of madness, she fled into the night, disappearing into the wilderness beyond the village. Kofi searched for days, calling out Umma's name into darkness, but she was nowhere to be found. And when at last he discovered her lying lifeless and still in the deep forest, he wept for the woman he loved that he was never given the chance to profess his feeling to, and the child unborn. As Kofi sat beside Mma's grave, a sudden realization washed over him. He remembered a conversation he had overheard a few years ago between Mma and an old woman in the village, a conversation that had seemed insignificant at the time but now held a sinister significance. Racing back to the village with Mma's dead corpse, Kofi sought for Olu, Umman's husband, who was busy looking after his other children as he prayed for his wife to deliver soon enough to regain her memory. Kofi told Olu the sad news, and Olu and his other three sons wept at the loss of their two family members. The next day, while Kofi was in the house mourning with the family, he discussed with Olu about the experience he had encountered with Umma and the old woman. Together, the two puzzled out Umma's tragic fate. The old woman has been a witch, a practitioner of dark magic who had cursed Umma in a fit of jealousy and spite. Driven by grief and sense of justice, Kofi and Olu confronted the old woman, demanding answers for her wicked actions. Though she denied any involvement in Umma's death, her eyes betrayed her guilt, as Kofi and Olu beckoned other villagers to threaten the old woman with death if she doesn't speak up. After some torturing, the old woman finally began to speak. A few years ago, when Umma had just gotten married, during a sweltering afternoon in the village, Umma had been walking through the silent street as she had just returned from the market, with her round belly a testament to the new life growing within her, when she came upon the old woman sitting on a weathered wooden bench, her eyes dark and mysterious. "Ah, Umma," the old woman crooned, her voice whispered in the wind. "I see the glow of motherhood upon you, the promise of new life and new beginnings. But be wary, child, for not all is as it seems in this world." Umma paused, her curiosity piqued by the cryptic words of the old woman. "What do you mean, Mama?" Her voice a mixture of fear and fantasy. The old woman gazed bore into Umma, her eyes seemingly seeing beyond the surface of things. "There are dark forces at play, child. jealous spirit who would seek to steal away your joy and your happiness. Be vigilant, for danger lurks in the shadows, waiting to strike when you least expect it. Mma shivered, a chill running down her spine as the old woman's words. The old woman's lip curled into a shy smile, a glint of malice dancing in her eyes. The old woman was jealous of Umma as Olu chose Umma over the old woman's daughter. And now Umma is flaunting her pregnancy. Meanwhile, the old woman's daughter killed herself because of what Olu did to her. And with those ominous words, the old woman fell silent, her gaze fixed on Umma with an intensity that shivered down her spine. Little did Umma know that the seeds of jealousy, anger, and deceit had been sown that day, setting into motion a tragic chain of events that would forever alter the course of her life. The villagers got so angry and furious at the old woman, chasing her out of the village and banishing her forever. In the days that followed, Kofi and Olu found solace in each other's company, mourning the loss of Umma, but also finding comfort in the knowledge that justice has been served. And as they watched the sun set over the village, casting a golden light on Umma's grave, they knew that her spirit would live in their hearts forever, a beacon of strength and resilience on the face of tragedy. So, lovely people, if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to click the subscribe button, like, and make a comment. Thank you very much and love you. Bye.